Hey guys, welcome to Ursh's podcast. Maybe I'm going to change the name of this podcast, but I'm the host for today, Ursh. So we are going to have a podcast with a wonderful guest from Austria. He's a sound engineer. His name is Nukid. His real name is Tony. So let's invite our guest for today's wonderful podcast. So how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I slept like till 2 hours ago. And
Woke up a bit early.
late. It's like it was 3 p.m.
Yeah. So what's the time right now in Austria?
Sorry?
What's the time in Austria?
6 p.m. now,
6.
like in the evening.
So let's start a podcast. Like, what do you think like a podcast have? Like a conversation, like questions.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Wish me luck.
Yeah.
We are going to conduct our first podcast with an amazing guest, Tony, with us. He's a sound engineer from Austria. So let us have the wonderful conversation with this wonderful guy from Austria. So hello, Tony. How are you doing?
Hello, Arsh. How do I pronounce your name? We only talked via text before. Tell me how your name is pronounced.
Arsh.
Arsh.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Hi, Arsh. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here with you for your first
So
podcast.
have you had any podcast before, or is it your first podcast?
Not really. Like, I had kind of a podcast in university, but it was just like it was nothing official.
This is also not official, but like it's just starting, and we don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
Sure. But it was like a exercise for a university. So yeah.
Cool. So I suppose this is your first podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have you on my first podcast and your first podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
So can you tell the audience like what do you do?
So I'm a musician and a sound engineer. I started making music like 10 years ago.
When you were,
I played. Yeah.
what was the age then?
With 13 or 14. Now I'm 24. Yeah, well, I was just playing like the electric guitar and covering songs from other artists. And then I started like playing my own riffs, but I didn't like record them. So when I was 18, I think, I started to make like electronic hip-hop beats and stuff. And then like everything came together to what I do now. Like, and I do hip-hop music, electronic music, like deep dubstep or with psychedelic elements, and also like black metal, like really dark, harsh metal music.
So I had another question like why did you choose music, sound engineering or music production as your career?
That's a good question. Well, I've worked with my father. He's a gardener, and before I did that, and so I saw like the working life of normal people, and I noticed that I don't want that. So so I chose to go to study music production, and yeah, now I just like live from day to day, and yeah.
Do you have any part-time job?
Sorry?
Do you have any part-time job like besides music production?
Not really. No, I just like take any job which comes, but it's only like a few days or like project wise, like mix this song, mix this album, like
You're
really on this day or that day.
You're a full-time music producer.
You could say that, yeah.
So I've written some of the points to ask you.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes back, I prepared for this podcast.
Yeah, man.
So where did you learn all this from?
Like most of the stuff in music, you just learn by doing it. Like the course I mentioned, it was the SIE, which is School of Audio Engineering. It's all over the world, which was a good start because you can use a lot of equipment there and check out a lot of microphones and desks, mixing desks. But like the thing per se, the making music, you can't really learn that from other people. You just gotta find your own ways. So when I started 5 years from now or 6 years, like with the music production, from this day on, I almost did it like every day make music, like in different genres. Watch a few tutorials, but not too much. I just learned by doing. That's what I would say, with a little other influences from.
You're a more practical person.
Huh?
You are a more practical person, like want to
What
learn.
do you mean?
Like you want to learn by doing something.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
doing
sure.
it.
Yeah. I don't want to learn from books or read or do like any like
Practically you want
boring stuff. I just want to do and find my own ways, and there's not much jobs or things you can do where you can do it your way.
So how much time would it take for someone who's a beginner to be like a professional like you?
I think that depends to the person, but like I guess there's persons who do it 1 year and they sound perfect, but it also depends on what you're doing, because I'm doing a lot of different stuff. So it took quite a long time to get everything right. So if I only did hip hop beats, I would have been way faster than with like hip hop and metal and electronic and all this stuff. So with the stuff I do, I think, yeah, at least like 3, 4, 5 years to have professional sound and music that is appealing to people.
Can you show us the tools you use, or like tell about the tools you use?
About my tunes?
Tools. The
I
instrument.
don't understand. Huh?
Instruments you use.
Instruments. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I play the guitar, the electric guitar, the bass, which is basically a guitar, and pretty much any instrument which has strings on it. A little bit of percussions, and like the computer is an instrument too nowadays. So yeah, very much computer. Like I have this little thing here.
What is this?
It's a MIDI controller. Like you can open up any program on your computer, like any synthesizer or any effect, and you just put it on the knob, and then you can use it as you had the hardware stuff.
I was going through the video you sent me about your setup.
Yeah.
I was like amazed to see that setup. So I wanted to ask this question to you: that how much time did it take you to build that amazing setup?
Well, the setup wasn't too much because I'm very minimalistic. I don't have so much stuff here. Like a lot of audio guys, they have a lot of equipment and stuff, but I like to have as least as possible. So the hardware setup, like it was fast, but it took me quite a long time to get the room, the studio to look how I want, and I renovated a lot, and I like pretty much everything in here, like the floor, and I
also like that. I also like that was a wonderful setup. I was like,
thanks, man.
I was like, what an amazing setup! I also want that setup one day.
Yeah, you can have it, man. You just gotta like put work into it, and you can have everything.
So at what age did you like start making money?
I start making money with it like 3 or 4 years ago, probably. But it wasn't like a lot of money. It's just like a little bit here, a little bit there.
In 3-4 years, you made this setup.
Sorry?
In 3-4 years, you made this wonderful setup.
Yeah, and like I live off it since like really living off it since like 1 or 2 years, that I pay everything of the music money. Yeah, but I don't really get money from my own music for now. Like most of the money I get is like for mixing other people's music or doing like technical stuff for them.
So how many music have you produced so far?
Like I don't only work on music, I also work on movies and like short videos, like little animations, like the sound for that. And I think like all in all, I have like 300 or 400 projects on my computer.
400.
Huh?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like I just said, like if you do it every day for years, like there's a lot coming together.
Have you worked with any successful artists, like somebody who's very known?
Yeah.
Like, can you tell the name?
Oh, a name.
Confidential.
I don't really work for like the like international artists, but for artists which are like known in Austria, like. They're not huge world stars, but yeah, they're known in Vienna. And like
I can trust you.
Yeah.
I can trust you.
Okay.
So, what do you think is scope of this industry in Austria?
What?
How far will this industry go in Austria?
Oh, well, not too far. Like Austria is like a pretty small country. overall. And yeah, I mean, I think nowadays with the internet, like you can do anything like from anywhere, but like it's pretty much not the easiest location to be successful. That's what I would say. But it's still possible, and yeah, it probably would be easier to go to Los Angeles or London or somewhere like big art city. But yeah, I'll just want to stay here because I got my parents here, and like I worked on my studio and my home, so I don't want to leave that here for now. And I'm just gonna try it from this area.
So like,
And I think it will work since you know, like music isn't always about how good the music sounds. It's a lot about marketing and networking and stuff.
definitely.
So you can have the best song ever, and if you upload it to no audience, like nobody will care. So it's more about like how I said, like who you know and a little bit of luck, and then it will work out.
So what do you think if this industry is taken by AI?
They can buy what?
Taken over by AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, well, that's an interesting question because recently I've used AI to generate pictures. I'm sure you heard of that.
DALL-E 2, maybe.
Yeah, sure. This one, like the light version, the free one. But like I'm impressed with what it can do.
Yeah.
But with music, I'm a little. I can't really imagine for now that AI could do such things because music is a lot about emotions. Like a lot of the decisions you do while mixing or making music is all emotions. So I'm not quite sure if a computer can imitate that, since as far as I know, like there's not really computer having emotions right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it would have like, it needs to have feelings to make such things. But we'll see, maybe it will have feelings soon.
Maybe like it's more developed, like going to be more developed. But
Yeah.
for now, you don't think it's going to take over?
Nah, maybe like for the pictures, you can put better input material in there and it can imitate that better. But with audio, it's like there are a lot of unique sound waves, which like are technically almost the same if you look it from a technical perspective, but they sound like very different. And I don't know if a computer can understand the differences between that. I tried using like AIs for mixing music, but it sounded terrible. So, but I don't know. Let's see what happens the next years. Like I've heard Mark Zuckerberg wants to give this to Facebook via our brains. Like I don't know.
Okay. So I also had this wonderful question. Like, why do artists choose an artist name? And what is your artist name?
My artist name is Lucid Autumn. Also a good question because I struggled a long time with, like, I had like 20 other names before, like not officially, but like I thought of 20 different names before, and it's hard because it should have some kind of factor to it that it's easy for people to understand and read. I mean, of course, there are musicians which have complicated names as well, but from my state of view, I think you should have a name which is like kind of catchy and fits your vibe. And like I'm a big fan of psychedelic stuff and dreamy stuff, so that's why I chose the word lucid. And also I'm a big fan of autumn. Like I love this season. I'm also born in November, so that could be why. But I love like the colors of the trees and how the sun is, and that it gets dark a little bit earlier.
You said autumn.
The weather. So yeah, so that's why I choose this name. But yeah, now I'm really satisfied with the name because it's like it's me and it fits my music, it fits the vibe. But yeah, it's hard, like finding the one name. You also gotta think of it that way, that you need to choose a name that isn't there by now.
Yeah, that's more important.
A lot of our names already exist. So that's also the reason Lucid Autumn is not taken by anyone. I think there's a Lucid Fall, like it's Asian, but like it's a different word, so it's okay.
You have to get that
but
patent.
Lucid Autumn every time. Huh?
Do you have to get that patent?
What? I get what?
Patent. Get it registered that this
I
is
don't know.
This is my.
Oh, patent. No, I didn't. But That's a good thing. Maybe I should uh, um, get a patent. But for now, like I'm not really big. Like I told you, I just started like building Instagram like a few days ago. So and everywhere I sign up to, like the name is still available, like without any underscores or just like straight Lucid Autumn. So that's why it's a good name to me. It represents myself, and it's also not taken by anyone or any other accounts using it. So that's why I think it's a great name.
So can you show, like, can you play some instrument for us? Acoustic guitar, maybe?
What? No, sorry, not right now. Like I don't really play like I don't just sit here and play music. Like most of the time, I play for recording. Like I also don't practice. Like I just sit there, put on the microphone and record. Yeah, and then I see what part is good, and then I build a song on top of that. But like it's hard for me to just like sit here and now like play a song. Like I don't know any music theory as well. I'm just going for feelings.
You see like which chord is best for like your song, and you then only play that song. It's not like you randomly play a song like.
Exactly, yeah. Just start with one riff and then I see what fits, or with one melody.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. What were you saying?
Or what?
What were you saying? Like I was listening to you.
Oh, yeah. I'll just start with one, like with metal music, with one riff and build off that, or with other music with one melody, and then I see what fits the melody by ear. So I don't really know any music theory. Like I do know some things, but I never learned like the scales or something because I just don't care about it. It's an important thing for a live musician or like a improvising musician, but I only like to be in the studio and make music and record and like have the song afterwards. I can perform it, but like I don't really can improvise like fancy stuff.
Even I know to play a scale, pentatonic scale.
No. Nope.
So my last question for today.
Yeah.
How much time like does it take to produce a music?
That's also it depends. Like I've made songs which I really like, in like a good song with good quality and vocals and everything, with pre-mixing, like not a perfect finished mix, but like a good sounding song which is has some imperfectness. 10 hours would be
my goodness
for me. Like one long day.
Like
then you have a song.
You sit for like a straight 10 hours or like 1 hour?
I tend to jump between projects a lot. So I do something in this project like 1 or 2 hours, then I'll close it and continue in another one. And then maybe I'll eat something and do something else. But I'm not really sitting like 10 hours straight on the same stuff. It could happen, but like most of the time I switch because of the perspective. Like if you listen to the same stuff too long and over again, and like you gotta know, like you just created it and it's a lot better than before, so because it didn't exist, so you can't really imagine how can I better this stuff because it already sounds so good to you because you just made it. And if you like do something else 1 hour and then you come back to it, you got like the fresh ears and the fresh perspective and fresh ideas because you're not too involved into it anymore.
So which software do you use for music production?
For creative stuff, I use FL Studio. You probably heard of that, like the beat making program. A lot of hip-hop producers use it, and electronic music producers, which is great for like anything which hasn't real instruments to it, like which is digital. You have a lot of opportunities in this program. And for like technical stuff, for editing real music, for performances, like I'm recording like a guitarist or a singer, and then I want to edit that and like make it better, I use Pro Tools, which is like a professional recording software. But yeah, I think those two programs are good because one is for the creative side and one is for the technical perspective, and each one has its own strength. So those two programs are perfect for me.
So with how many artists have you worked so far?
Probably like 30 to 50.
That's a lot. Like
I'm also counting like the movie makers as artists, and like everyone who just gives me projects. Like it's not only musicians, but yeah, it's hard to tell, like, because when I started, I made a lot of stuff for free too, like with non-professional guys. So with professional guys like 30 to 50 maybe, and with non-professional guys like 100 probably.
That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
how you have more than 400 projects on your computer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's all for today, I believe.
Thanks for having me, man. It was nice to talk to you.
Same here. It was my pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, man. I'm very curious what you're gonna make out of it.